I'll give us a clap just to be safe, just so we know what's in. All right, here we go. Hey, guys, welcome to the Fireside Tattoo Network, Fireside Tattoo Podcast. We have Joshua Carlton, and we have Riley Smith from the Evergreen Tattoo Invitational. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic.
Good. You can see my mouse on the screen. Let me get it out of the way. So I want to just give a disclaimer. I despise Skype, so we're trying appear.in. So you guys on YouTube will know whether appear.in is any good by the end of this video. We'll find out. It got good reviews, though, so we'll see. So guys, thanks for taking a second to jump on here. We're gonna talk a little bit today about the Evergreen Tattoo Invitational, which you guys have partnered up and are putting on. What year is this? How many years have you done this?
This is gonna be our 5th year.
5th? Oh wow.
5th year. I gotta be honest with you, just sitting here with Riley, talking earlier, it kind of flew by. I can't really believe we're already at the 5th year. It's just gotten better and better every year, and we keep catching ourselves saying, this is going to be the best year ever. It almost sounds like we're hyping ourselves up, but nope, every year it just gets better and better. Yeah. It's a dream come true for us, so we're happy to be here.
It doesn't feel like 5 years.
At all.
It feels like 2 weeks. It's been great.
Yeah. So talk. It's in Eugene, Oregon, which I've never been to Eugene. I've been to Portland a lot. Tell me a little bit about Eugene. Is it comparative to Portland? Is it size-wise, is it anywhere close?
It's the second biggest city, isn't it?
No, it's the third. Yeah,
it's smaller. It's smaller, but honestly, we have everything that we need here. Yeah. And probably we have probably more hippies than Portland. So.
Oh, way more hippies, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Eugene's kind of a mainstay, for the Pacific Northwest. A lot of hippies. Just a really nice town is what it is.
It's very friendly.
Super friendly, super nice.
So 5 years ago, or probably longer than that, 6 years ago, whenever you decided to do this, I mean, even 6 years ago, already the saturation level of conventions was starting to hit. I'm sure it was at an all-time high, and it's even at even more of a high now. What made you decide you wanted to try to put on a convention?
I think for me, It was a scary thought. At first it was just a passing thought. When Riley was like, we could do this better, and other than talking about it, I didn't really think it would come to fruition. But, Riley, he has an engineer's mind, and he went home and put together a packet of every step of the way, figured out basically all the problems, and kind of showed me, not only can we do this, we can do this the way that we want to do it. I told Riley from the beginning, I'm not interested unless we can do it this way. I've been to 500 conventions prior to this, and some were terrible and some had good parts. And I said, if we can put together the best of the best, then we can do this. Let's try it once and see what happens. You know what I mean? And honestly, I'll brag. It's badass.
Yeah. What constituted the best of the best to you? What you said, I want to make sure we do it this way. What did you have a punch list in your mind? What did that look like to you?
One of the first things for me was I cannot stand trying to work at a convention and there's just music fucking blasting. I can't hear my customers. I can't talk over this terrible music, So right off the bat, we're like, if we have music, it's going to be in a separate room. Sure, we need entertainment, but it's not about midget tossing. This is about tattooing. This is about pushing tattooing further. So right off the bat, we both absolutely agreed. So that was step number one for sure.
Yeah, you always hear that the focus should be on the tattooing and on the art. That was really the main priority. I know for me, I thought about how I wanted to be treated at a show and how I wanted it to feel and how I wanted it to look. And that's really what we try to accomplish every time. How many shows have you gone to where you didn't know who owned the place, who promoted it, what time it started, when it ended, how do I get help? And that was the thing. We could be there and make a show that we want to go to.
Yeah, we know what it takes to, you get on an airplane and go to these shows and do all these things, so we know you run into problems. For example, one year somebody lost their luggage. They flew out, a snowstorm, they showed up with, I think they had a tattoo machine. And me and Riley were like, we're on it, what do you need? And they couldn't believe that we took such good care of them, but why the hell wouldn't we?
Sure.
We could never put this show on if it wasn't for our artists. Yeah. Sure, we'd go take care of them.
The standards of the artists, was based on many factors, but I think, for me, one of them were these people that I would be proud to be tattooing next to. Mm-hmm. We're all in the business, or so they say, so let's put together a room of people that you'd be proud to be in the room with.
Right. Right. About how many booths are there total there? Like size-wise, what size show is it?
211.
Okay. All right. So you can, I mean, with that mindset, trying to keep, live music and stuff in the other room, try to make it a more art-focused or tattoo-friendly event, easier on the artist, trying to take it's more of kind of a boutique convention, I guess, if for lack of a better term, huh?
Yeah, we took a big risk on not having a ton of entertainment because, if you're not getting tattooed or as into tattooing as we are, maybe you're not going to come. And we did take a gamble on the door with that. But at the end of the day, we decided it wasn't ultimately about just the money, But I will say that what ended up being the draw is hungry tattoo artists that want to watch somebody work. Yep. So the entertainment was there all along. It was just hanging out, watching people tattoo. And those conversations, maybe at the bar that night, you're going to get information that you could get nowhere else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There was a lot of what amazed me was how easily the guards of tattooing and being a tattoo artist at a show come down when you're around professional and like-minded people.
Yeah, when everybody's so amazing around you, the conversations, like when you're a fly on the wall, people leave Evergreen more excited to tattoo than ever.
Absolutely.
It's like they just started. They're hungry now, and I love that.
Yeah, we should charge just to go to the bar at night because that's the best seminars in the world.
That's where it's at.
The after party and the pre-party.
Yeah, no doubt. Are there do you find that Eugene supports it? Do you find that you're drawing clients or drawing tattoo collectors from all over Oregon or all over the Pacific Northwest, or what? Do you keep up with that?
All over the world, really. Sure. Yeah, all over the world. Yeah, actually, I think Eugene has been really good to us. Eugene's always been a tattoo town.
Yeah.
Like I moved here from Indiana, and I couldn't believe it when I went to a restaurant and my waiter had sleeves. I'd never seen that before, but it's very common here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Oregon's weird.
Yeah. So Eugene has really supported us. Oregon has supported us, and from the beginning, we've been able to get people from out of the country. Jason Butcher came the first year.
Sure.
We've had artists from all over the world.
Yeah.
I believe we've even had people that that are getting tattooed travel pretty far as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are flying in and getting tattooed, and they always say keep Oregon weird. That's the way it's been. I was born and raised here, and it is very strange like that. It's not uncommon to have your cops have throat tattoos or the mayor have a half sleeve. That's just the way it is. In fact,
we just upped the level.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll be out and about and I'll see a beautiful tattoo and I'm like, wow, I wonder where they got. Oh yeah,
Evergreen. Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's under 200,000 people in this area, not just the town. That's not a lot of people. But I'm pretty civic driven.
And because of that, a lot of people in the beginning were like, you guys are crazy. You think you're going to get Paul Booth to come to Eugene? Yeah. Guess what?
Yeah.
We did.
I had a friend of mine in the business that called me day one and was like, it's not going to work. You guys are going to suck. No one's coming to Eugene. Why would anybody do that? I always looked at it from a different perspective. This place is beautiful. When you come here, if you've never been here, you're going to be like, wow, this is paradise.
It's really nice here.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I am excited to see it. I love that area anyways. I love Portland. Anytime we go to Portland, we try to, we're all Goonies fans, my family and I, so we go to Astoria and we kind of bounce around that area, and it's so beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of artists that are coming out there, I saw through a social media feed you had Nikko Hurtado on board. Did I hear that right? Is that one?
I'm sorry, what was it?
Nikko Hurtado is one artist for this year?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Not only is Nikko Hurtado coming and tattooing, he's also going to be teaching 2 days prior to the event. We're kind of sandwiching in the educational together this year to try to make it a little bit easier for people to not have to travel twice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So not only is he tattooing, but actually he's teaching.
So run through that. What are the logistics? Where does it? It starts 2 days prior for seminars?
Yeah. So the invitational is March 16th through the 18th, but on the 14th and 15th we're having seminars. We're having 4 tattoo artists. We've got Nikko Hurtado, Rember Orlana, Ruben Langsty, which is from Copenhagen, and Mark Waskaro, which is from Aarhus, Denmark.
Oh.
So, Ruben's never even been to America, so this is a big deal for kind of everybody,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a way to get some of the best tattoo artists in the world in a room where everybody can pick their brain, and they're setting up about an hour to 2 hour seminar each 2 days before. And the reason we're doing that is if I'm tattooing at a convention and Nikko's teaching, I want to take that class, but I'm tattooing.
Right.
So this gives you 2 days beforehand. You know, maybe you went to the coast the day before and chilled out, and now you can learn for 2 days, and then you're hungry, and then you get a tattoo for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
So this is new for us, but I've got a really good feeling about it. Everybody seems pretty excited.
Once again, we try to put ourselves in the position of the artist in the booth. You know, they want to learn from these guys, but they also have to make money. We understand that.
Yeah, so it costs a bunch of money to just get here. So,
sure.
Oh, Nikko's teaching on Saturday at 4 o'clock. Awesome. I'm doing a tattoo, so I'm going to miss out. Yeah. Well, now you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. An incredibly logical approach. That I don't know why other conventions.
I know, right? Like, why did it take us this long? You know?
I know, right?
Yeah. Riley, we talked a little bit in North Carolina about how you kind of send out your artist invites, because it is an invitational event. It's not where you just the first ones to grab a booth, grab a booth. We had talked about how you were. I don't know if you had actually done it, or we're just talking about sending out like puzzle boxes or clever, cool ways to talk a little bit about that. How did that go, and what was it like?
This is like a little torture I like to do with Josh on top of his hectic schedule. I'm like, hey, you need to make 60 handmade, custom whatever for people. But that was something we started out of the chute. We personally invite so many artists that we'd like to see at the show, and then we want to make sure we handpick every artist in that room. And by handpick, I mean we track them down. We make sure they have to fill out applications. We reject more people that come down.
Yeah, and to be honest, we are pretty picky, and that does ruffle some feathers. But if we're going to say it's the best, you've got to really be on that level, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've always tried to strive to make these invitations special. So, like, you know, like 1 year, you know, you just get a package in the mail and it's a severed finger.
Right.
With a bow tied around it for save the date, and it's kind of like, what is this?
Right.
Well, then the part of the award was the rest of the hand with the missing finger.
Right.
So we try to put things together. So one of my favorites is this year we sent out a puzzle box that, you know, you could hear something inside of it, but even though it's very easy to open, it takes you 15, 20 minutes to figure it out.
It's easy for 5. I can't open it.
So, you know, it's funny to hear the reactions, but then what really got funny was when we started seeing the Instagram pictures where they just took a hammer to it.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Just
Yeah,
destroyed it.
Chantel Cody had a 20-minute video trying to open it. She's cursing me. I know you glued it, Riley. You ruined it.
Yeah.
You know?
So we got these brilliant tattoo artists. These are some of the smartest people in the world. And they're just like, motherfucker. You know? It was great.
When we were talking about it in North Carolina, you were like, you said that someone had reached out to you, and you're like, just give it to your kid. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hand it to your
And
kid.
once you realize how easy it is, you feel pretty dumb because it's real simple.
Yeah.
You think too hard on it.
Yeah.
That's the fun of it. What was in it this year? Was it?
Well, it was filled with
It
diamonds.
was filled with diamonds.
And I can't give it away,
Yeah, we won't say what
but the award does connect to it.
Yeah, it always
I'm
does.
extremely excited. I personally, my wife and I hand make every award. We
Oh,
don't go
wow.
to the trophy shop. We make these awards by hand. So try to just make it as special as possible.
Spends hundreds of hours on these, hand making them, hand painting them, hand molding them, whatever he's doing. I never ever meddle in it. In fact, I don't even know what you're
It's
making.
kind of just, yeah, usually
I
I
don't
don't
usually ask.
I don't even know, you know, no one even knows, even Riley. It's something I really love to do every year. And I'm busy and I don't have time to do it, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that leads right into my next question. So, to put on this event, how early do you start? What kind of just hours does it take, and how do you balance that with tattoo
Let's
schedules
see.
and family
Yeah,
life?
March 18th, the show ends. I think we're going to work Monday.
Yeah, like
Is that for
as
real? Or-
cliche as that sounds, to be completely honest, it
Is that
is
true?
all-consuming. It's our baby. I'm in a band. I do all kinds of things. None of those things are Evergreen is it. You know what I mean? When we made the decision to do this, as long as it can keep being as good as it is and better, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Once it starts to water down and not fun for us, then we'll move on. You know what I mean? But Evergreen is it. So I'll take a day off or two after, you know, and relax and stuff. But we're right back at Denny's talking about new ways to do things the next couple days. You know?
I've told this story before where I've like Christmas morning, we've opened up presents and I picked up the phone to call Josh. And my wife's like, leave him alone, it's Christmas. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll give him another hour. And then I call, and then he's like, hey, I'm working on that thing. What are you doing? You know, like,
Yeah.
we really mean that. We work on a 365. You know, we couldn't do this without our wives. Nikki and Aaron are the best in the world. They're so
Very, very
smarter than us. They prove how dumb we are.
We have the ideas, and we're like, can we, you know, this sounds crazy, but they'll actually put it into action.
Yeah.
So I think that's ultimately what's happened.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we have an incredibly good crew, and we get Sappy here, but he's one of my best friends in the world, and I get to fucking work with him on this project. Are you kidding me?
This is the best thing
That's
ever.
the way that's the way it worked. You know what I mean? Like I've been involved in projects, and you have to have, somehow we got the perfect storm.
Yeah.
And it's, what's great is if we can say something stupid, I can be like, I got this idea, and Riley will be like, that's absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm not hurt by it. We move on. You know what I mean? So we're able, but you know, we're able to have these conversations. You know what I mean? But we're on our 5th year, and I'm as excited as day one.
Yeah. Sometimes we're watching golf and we come up with a good idea, and it just comes out of freaking nowhere too.
Yeah, yeah. So you said you want to keep doing it as long as it can continue to be at this quality. Do you think that that means keeping it kind of a boutique setting? You're not trying to expand it. You're not trying to grow it necessarily, huh?
You know, we might think about adding things to it. You know what I mean? There might be some things that kind of grow from it. It's all Evergreen is the umbrella, but it's always about, you know, Riley and I've said this since day one, leaving tattooing better than you found it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And as long as we can continue to do those things, I'm in. I've been tattooing for 28 years, and I'm in to do this for the rest of my life if it's going the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Evergreen is a funny animal. You know, it's personal for us. It's not about money or any of that stuff. You hear that in this business, but I mean, people don't really. We could do this anywhere in the world. We could do this in New York. We could do this in Paris, France. We do this in our hometown because that's where it benefits our neighbors, our family. It generates tax dollars for our schools. Like, we really care about that shit, and that's important to us. You know,
it also puts money into the community.
Oh yeah.
You know, the first or second year, we were told by the newspaper put a thing out that we pumped over $1 million into the economy, hotels, car rentals, restaurants. Yeah. You know, that's a secondary action that happened that's just good for everybody.
Yeah.
I'd like 10% of that, by the way.
Yeah. So, you know, with Evergreen being, like I said, being our baby and being more of a boutique, we did have an opportunity to put on a tattoo convention in Boise as well.
Well, yeah.
And it's a little more of your, it's definitely on the standards of Evergreen, but we're opening the doors up a little more to give people an opportunity to get their foot in the door.
Yeah.
So we've done that 1 year.
Yeah, I love it.
And it went great, and we're going to keep working with that. It's it's not necessarily invite, but we're picky. I guess would be a good way.
We hold a high standard.
You can't just give us money and get a booth. We still kind of have to like talk about it amongst us.
Sure.
Because what I'm looking for is someone that reminds me of me or Riley when we started. I'm looking for someone that's hungry. They might not be the best yet,
right?
But maybe someday they'll be teaching at Evergreen, and they're going to help.
I think of it kind of the same way. Like, you know, I have sometimes people approach me, artists, and they say, hey, how do I get into Evergreen? And I'm like, that's easy. Go take a trophy down at Boise.
Yeah, go win an award at Boise. That's a great.
Yeah, it's like a proving ground. It's like if Evergreen was the Major League Baseball team, you know, that's our farm over there. But I'll tell you, some of the artists that come to that show, they're amazing. They're super talented, and like they're swinging for the fences, man. And I love it. I just love it.
One of the biggest things we run into is we don't want to make Evergreen any bigger necessarily, and there's so many amazing artists. So you know, it's kind of tough because we get down to the wire where we're sold out, and we have these amazing tattoo artists that are willing to travel from another country, and like, we can't get them in, and it's like. It's such a bummer, you know what I mean? But I don't want to make it so big that it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? We already have about 300 tattoo artists.
Well, you know, next year when it's, you know, around August and we say, hey, apply for your booth, we mean it.
Yeah.
Apply for your booth in August of the year before if you want to get in. If you want to get in 2019, you better apply in August.
We've never not sold out completely early, months ahead. So.
Months and months ahead, yeah.
I think it says a lot, keeping it in your town and talking about the benefits to the town. And another benefit, I think, especially in a smaller town like Eugene and Memphis, where I am, which is probably a similar size, maybe a bigger town, but probably a similar tattoo town, is that when you bring that level of artists from all over the world into a town, into a population where everyone knows that show is happening and they all come to that show, you really raise the bar for all tattooers in your hometown for the rest of the year. Whenever you've got guys like, say, you know, when you got guys like Nikko coming in to do tattoos, now everyone in Eugene, even if they're not tattoo fans, they've seen somebody that got a piece from him from that show, and that it just inevitably raises the bar for everyone else in that town.
Yeah, and that's at the core of it. You know, I've been tattooing for a long time, and all I've ever heard about is tattoo artists talking crap about the guy down the street. And you know, what if we flip that? You know what I mean? What if we all got better? Instead of me being worried about the guy down the street being better, let him get better so I can learn from him and we can go back and forth. Ultimately, we're just making tattooing better.
Yeah.
How could that be wrong?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Absolutely.
Well, there is a cynical view of tattooing right now. There's a divide that's happening between the guys that want to grow and want to learn and really honestly are trying to make it better, and guys that are maybe worried about something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a huge it's a point that constantly comes up on our show. Because we try to help artists grow, not necessarily tattooers. They happen to mostly be tattooers. We try to help people grow as artists, and you're absolutely right, Riley. There's a huge population. There's still a very I don't want to draw any lines, but there's a mindset, and it's an older mindset that feels like we're still more technicians and less artists. And now a lot of artists have come in. And there's nothing wrong with being a great technician. Absolutely, you should be a great technician. But we're getting to a point where you have to be a good artist. You have to learn to draw. You just have to have a strong understanding of the principles that make good art. And that divide I just see every day in the videos that we put out, in the responses that come in, both supportive and the people that aren't so supportive. But
I remember when there was a handful of good artists. You know what I mean? When like years ago, and there was just literally a handful. And now you go to Instagram. You're ready to have your mind blown, and you've never heard of it. So that's what keeps me going. I know there's an 18-year-old a year out of art school tattooing his ass off, and that keeps me up at night. And I want to not only be a better artist myself, but how can I get him involved in helping all of us move forward?
Yeah.
The whole idea of Evergreen has always been pushing tattooing forward.
Yeah.
It has to be. We are our own stewards in the tattoo industry. No one controls our destiny. Nobody could if they wanted to. They couldn't control us. So the time has come where we have to control our own destinies. We have to control our own shows, our own business, our own art. I lead from the front in everything I do, and that's the way it is. I just encourage more people to do that.
Yeah.
If you don't like what's going on in the industry, stand up and change it. And I don't mean run your mouth and do a bunch of shitty posts about it. I mean, we put our money where our mouth is. This shit's not cheap. It takes up time that we should be spending with our kids, but we care, so we fight for it.
We had, one of our favorite artists that comes out and works with us is Yogi Barrett. Mm-hmm. And wise words from him in one of his seminars, he's like, this shit's ours now. It is. This is our turn. So you've got these old mentalities like you talk about. And I've been tattooing for 28 years, so I've definitely been around it. Mm-hmm. But I've always felt, like maybe we were kind of going backwards sometimes. So, I like to take what Yogi said and run with that. This is ours. This is our time. Yep. Not just us, collectively, the younger tattoo artists. Well, I'm 42. I guess I'm not that young. But you know what I mean? What I'm saying. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We had Yogi on the show once, and it was one of my favorite episodes. He's an opinionated guy, and and very passionate, and he's just a complete badass. I mean, you can't deny what a great tattooer he is. Well, it sounds like you. I mean, I'm honored, honestly, to be a part of it. I'm happy that we're coming out and get some podcasts in, and I hope we get to do a couple of tattoos. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm hoping to interview some of these guys. I'd love to.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. So I assume we're sold out. So if we have a lot of artists, a lot of tattooers that watch this show, they're probably out for this year. But if they want to get an application in, they need to get started in the summer or fall by
August.
The very latest. August is the deadline. And and for folks that want to come out and get tattooed, the best place to learn more, to find information, artist lists, and all that kind of stuff is where?
They can go to our website, which is evergreentattoo.com, right, Aaron?
We're both looking at the Y.
Evergreentattoo.com is the website, and you can find out information, the dates and everything. Again, it's March 16th through 18th for the actual convention, and 14th and 15th, 2 days prior, is the educational. And
there'll be seminars at the show for artists in Oregon. They need continuing education. We always have great seminars, fantastic seminars.
Yeah, that's one of the things in Oregon. You need to get continued education, and all of our seminars are accredited towards that, which is fantastic.
Okay.
All the artists will be listed on there. Really information, and we're really good about answering. So if you do message us, you're going to get a response that day. So
this is Patrick Day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Real quickly, just so I know and so everyone else here does, it's how far from Portland, and where do they fly into if they're coming to?
We're 2 hours from Portland. You can fly straight into Eugene. It's usually a little more expensive.
Okay.
But they fly into Portland. There is a train. And once you're here, a lot of the artists and stuff, there's like shuttles and stuff as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you're always better off flying right into Eugene. Malin Sweet Airport is what it is. That's always the best way to go.
It's a super easy airport. It's just a little bit more money to get there. And honestly, it's so easier. I recommend that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody, we will link to the website, to the Evergreen website, in this video description or in the description, below. Come out if there's any way that you can. We'd love, if you're a tattooer, we'd love to get you on the show and podcast with you. I hope to have both of you guys on again. Maybe we'll talk a little more about your personal work when actually at the event, and maybe a little more about the event too. Kind of sometimes it's fun where you're like, when you're in the weeds, to jump in and like talk for a minute, and like a dozen things have gone wrong, a dozen things have gone right, and then it's an exciting time sometimes to talk about what's happening.
It's all part of it, like the stuff that the red tape you run into. I think we're so used to it now, like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, we can handle it. Between the two of us, one way or another, we can handle it.
We're good to go.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, Jake.
Appreciate it, Jake.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.